Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs Podcast. This is season 6, episode number 13. Tonight's the Songs edition. Andy, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Good. It's February 6th, 2025. It's another installment of our Songs edition. Usually we do album reviews and whatnot, and we'll do the same thing, but now we're in February.
February, we do something different.
Month is dedicated to something new. Tell the listeners what we're doing for February.
February, Dan kind of gives me the keys to it. Last year, we lucked out. February had 5 Thursdays in it. We had that 29th day. But we did Johnny Cash American Series, which was 6 albums, so I went into March a little bit. Got scolded for the overtime from Connie. I did too many episodes that I hosted. But she got over it because it was Johnny Cash, so she kind of let that slide. This month, we got 4. And I said, you know what? I've mentioned this before as influences or, that was that time in my life. 4 country artists from the 80s that I liked. I don't want to say they impacted me on music I like. I didn't say I was like, they were my 4 favorite country artists of the 80s. Just 4 artists from the 80s that I really enjoyed and I still enjoy today. And I think everybody knows who they are. I didn't pick the very popular ones to bore everybody with. Went a little outside the box, but you're going to recognize these names, I hope.
Well, good. Let's get started. This is a first installment of a series of 4 for the month of February.
Yep. And it's not a specific...
Sports and Songs goes country.
Yep. It's not a specific album by these artists. It's just the artist in general.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind. I'm not picking a album, a artist. It's Keith Whitley today.
Nice.
Keith Whitley. Born Jackie Keith Whitley. Born July 1 of 1954 and passed away May 9th of 1989. During his career, he released only 2 albums, but charted 12 singles on the Billboard country charts and 7 more after his death. That's just the impact. I mean, that's what he did on 2 albums of his life. If he hadn't passed away, what would he have done? That's kind of the what of stories. Born in Ashland, Kentucky, Whitley grew up near Sandy Hook, Kentucky. Began his career there in 1970, performing with Ralph Stanley's band. Established himself as a lead singer in bluegrass music. So a lot of his music had kind of the bluegrass roots. He's mentioned that Randy Travis, Ricky Skaggs were big influences to him. So it's that genre of country music, which I'm a big fan of. Let's see what it says here. Well, Whitley was a teenager at Sandy Hook. He and his friends would pass the time drinking bootleg bourbon and racing their cars down mountain roads at dangerous speeds. Whitley was once in a car whose driver attempted to round a curve at 120 miles an hour. The car wrecked, killing his friend and almost breaking Whitley's neck. In another accident, he drove his car off a 120-foot cliff into a frozen river, escaping with only a broken collarbone. He liked his hooch. He liked living life fast. And that's how it was. I hear it says his influences were George Strait and Randy Travis. So that genre of country music, the bluegrass. In 1969, he performed in a musical contest in Kentucky with his brother Dwight on a 5-string banjo. Ricky Skaggs was also in the contest. Skaggs and Whitley instantly bonded and became close friends. So there you go. Boom. 2 great artists at a time meeting there. And that's always kind of cool when you hear those stories. You hear like, how'd you guys meet? Oh, we were in a talent contest together. Oh, that's kind of cool. His first solo album, A Hard Act to Follow, was released in 1984 and featured more mainstream country style. Well, Whitley was working hard to achieve his own style. The songs he produced were inconsistent. Critics regarded the album as too erratic. Whitley honed his sound within the next few years on his next album, LA to Miami. LA to Miami was released in 1985, would give him his first top 20 country single, Miami, Miami. So Miami, the town, then Miami. Sounds weird when you say it out loud, but when you read it, you know what I'm talking about. The song was followed by 3 more hit singles, 10 Feet Away, Homecoming 63, and Hard Livin'. The album also included On the Other Hand and Nobody in His Right Mind Would Have Left Her. on the other hand, was pitched to Whitley after Randy Travis released the song as a single. And when Whitley's version wasn't released as a single, Travis released it in 86. So did George Strait. So all these guys were releasing the same song. They all loved it. All did very, very well. Very good song. One thing here, before we get into his death and other stuff, I just got to tell a little side story about Keith Whitley. He was married to Lori Morgan, country singer, who's been married 4 times. She dated Troy Aikman for a while.
Okay.
Not saying she was fast and loose. Not just she was one of those. I mean, George Jones was married how many times? All these people. So I'm sitting there at basketball practice, 1991-92 season up at NDSU.
Okay.
North Dakota State. Just got to keep that in mind. Early 90s. Lori Morgan was starting her own career. And I says to one of the coaches, "Hey, coach, you listen to country music much?" He goes, "I watch the videos. I have it on as, noise. Why?" I said, "You see that new Lori Morgan video? She's dating that football player." It was Lori Morgan. "She the one with the big cans?" "Yes, coach." "Yeah, I've seen that one." That was kind of the rap she had, though, that was just her body. That's why she got around. She wasn't. Her and Keith, thought sounded corny. They had a couple songs where they made good music together without sounding corny. Because there's a picture of Keith there. Of course, I had to tell you that story of Lauren Morgan so you kind of get a visual of her. They were the perfect couple, though, for country music at the time.
Power couple. Yes,
they could have been if he didn't, unfortunately, pass away so soon. In early 1989, Whitley was approached by RCA chairman with the intention of releasing "I Never Go Around Mirrors" as a single. That was his other single. However, he struggled that Whitley recorded something new and more upbeat. The result was a song Whitley had obtained from his previous album called "I Wonder Do You Think of Me," and was the result of his next album release. Whitley was scheduled to be invited to join the Grand Ole Opry in late May of '89. He was inducted after his death as a former member in October of 23 in a tribute concert. And that's what bothers me about these things where they put you in after you've passed away.
Okay.
"Oh, he was going to go in '89. Oh, but he died, so we're going to wait till 23 to do it." I mean, sometimes I do it the next year. People think, "Oh, you're just putting it in because he died." It's in our paperwork. We were going to do it already. Get over it, Musicians, athletes, they put them in the Hall of Fame if they've had this great start to a career and die early. I could see waiting a couple of years so it doesn't look like you put him in just because he died. I think they waited a little too long here. About his death, on May 9th, 1989, Whitley had a brief phone call with his mother and was later visited by his brother-in-law. The two had coffee and were planning the day of golf and lunch, after which Whitley planned to start writing songs for him and Lori Morgan to record when she returned from her concert tour. Palmer left at approximately 8:30 a.m., asking Whitley to be ready to leave within the hour. Upon returning, Palmer had found Whitley unresponsive in his bed and called an ambulance. Whitley was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. He was 34 years old. The cause of death was an acute aneurysm or alcohol poisoning. Davidson County Medical Examiner Charles Harlan stated that Whitley's blood alcohol level was 0.47. And this was at 8:30 in the morning.
Gee.
So they said that's the equivalent of 20 1-ounce shots of 100 proof whiskey. He was born in 1954 per his birth certificate passport, but RCA on his grave marker recorded his year of birth of 1955. So there's little issues there. Again, he had such good music and so much stuff in the can like some artists have. He had more number one hits after he passed away. They just started releasing singles and stuff like that, which, again, I'm okay with when they do that on artists, but there's some guys like Prince, we've said before. If he had him in the vault for years, there's a reason he didn't want that stuff out. But in this case, it was he passed away, and people just started replaying his songs. You hear of artists have that all the time.
Yeah,
They
they weren't
pass
like
away.
were they unfinished demos or anything?
No, they started replaying his. I mean, he had the 2 albums out.
Okay.
Every time an artist passes away, you hear about time all of a sudden their albums go to number 1. We talked about it with David Bowie a while ago. He passes away, he's got like 4 albums in the top 10 the next week. That's kind of what happened here with him. A lot of guys could have been with Keith Whitley. There's this dreams he had, and he was just a different type of singer. Like this one here says, "You want to impress a girl? Quit singing Luke Bryan and learn Keith Whitley." That's just the music he had and the person he was. He's only around for a few years. Yeah, and it's a meme, but it's also kind of a true saying too. Meaning, he's not that brand of country. Country music's got so many different genres, but it's still called country music. Rock and roll they have hair bands, they have hip hop, that's all considered rock and roll. Ballads, but that's all rock and roll. Country has country, But if you get a chance, go back, check out some Keith Whitley stuff. His duets with Lauren Morgan were perfect, in my opinion. Very well done stuff. He is missed. I every now and then still throw in a Keith Whitley song on my playlists and listen to it. It's just, like I said, the bluegrass thing, which is not far off from the blues. So highly recommended. Give him a listen.
Yeah, good stuff. I don't know much about Whitney, so Whitley. So that was good. Good overview.
Yep. Thank you. And you can see the hairstyle was the mid 80s. It just screamed the 80s. So it was the perm and everything else.
That's good stuff. All right. We've got some other upcoming shows, Andy. Upcoming local shows. Now, this band, 10,000 Days, a tribute to Tool with special guest Stone and Echo. Friends of the show, Stone and Echo is another Perfect Circle tribute band, Maynard James Keenan. So that's coming here. This is, where is this? Bogarts? Yeah, here we go. Yep. Bogarts. This is coming up Saturday, the 8th. So today's Thursday, 2 days. Try to get out there. That's in Apple Valley to see this group. Very talented group this is. I went and saw them, could not believe how good they were. Now, this is Medina, same band, 10,000 Days, on April 11th. This is a couple months out, but once again, some good music here. Very hard to do. March 28th, Sugar Buzz comes to the Shakopee Bowl. We've seen these, friends of the show, been there. $10 cover. This is a band that the owner there at Shakopee Bowl says you're going to get roughly 300 people at the show. It's going to be standing room only. It's one of their main acts at Shakopee Bowl.
That's March 28th?
March 28th.
Ooh,
it's a Friday night.
That's opening weekend in Major League Baseball. That's going to be a tough crowd.
Well, it's a sports bar. The games will be on. So
you get the best of both worlds.
It's the best.
Baseball
sports bars. If there's songs, what do you see people at concerts there? They'll be focusing on singing to the songs they like at the bar or the table, and then if there's a song they don't know, there's a break in the action, they don't like that song, their heads will swivel and watch whatever game is going on. There's multitude of sports.
Now, very well could be a sports and song sighting at that concert.
Yeah, you probably could see us there. Now, Shakopee Bowl also Pop Rocks. I think now personally, this is their number one gig at the Shakopee Bowl. This is going to be another 300 easy at these shows. Friday night, this is February 28th. This is Pop Rocks. $10 cover gets you in, 8 o'clock. Very good stuff. You're going to know all the songs here. These are just common. Yep. It's not a tribute. It's just a common songs, popular songs being played by a live band. We're hoping to get these guys on the show as well upcoming. Lynch Mob, Andy, you know these guys. This is the tour
Yes.
called The Final Ride, Saturday, March 22nd, next month. Are you planning on going to this?
No.
Okay.
I'd like to.
Yeah, I don't.
I've got some other
It's
stuff
not on my
there.
list. Okay.
George Lynch of Dokken. That's the Lynch and Lynch Mob. So also
Yeah.
Sweet and Lynch, Michael Sweet from Stryper and George Lynch.
This would be good. And once again, these guys with their age, see them while you can. This is actually George Lynch on stage show. That'd be a good show. Now I didn't know this, Andy. Friday, February 28th at Medina, Eliminator, a ZZ Top cover band called Eliminator. Now, number one, of course, love the logo, love the photo. Have you heard of these guys?
No. Not saying they haven't been around for a while or if they're new. I do not know. I know we mentioned this concert a couple weeks ago too, and I haven't done a lot of research on them, which was my fault. I asked George and Keith to do the research for me, the interns, and they dropped the ball. So.
Now, but look who's opening for these guys. It's an Austin Healey band.
Yep. So that'd be kind of cool.
So it's good. It's good stuff here. And then you get the band called Grunge. February 8th. This Saturday at the Medina. This is Grunge. So this is your compilation of your Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots, Pearl Jam, all that rolled up into one. Foo Fighters. It's 90s Pacific Northwest music that's coming up.
Kind of like a hairball of the Pacific Northwest music.
Yes. Very good. Very good stuff. That's coming up in a couple of days. March 8th, next month. Church of Cash. Friends of the show.
The La Musique room.
In the La Musique room, yes.
Yes.
Great. Great. Now, a personal friend, not friend of the show, but friends of ours. We wish.
I've seen them once. I highly recommend you go.
This will be good. So, Nita Strauss will be coming to Minneapolis February 18th. You're a big fan. I have gotten more recent last couple of years into her, but you've been following her whole entire career. She's married now, right? She's sober. Nita Strauss, one of the best female guitarists. Wow.
Yeah. Go back, listen to her again, listen to her over and over. Yep.
Very talented young lady. But that's what I've got for this week. Those are the upcoming shows here locally, regionally, Twin Cities, Minneapolis, Twin Cities area here coming up in the next month or two. All good bands to see. That's all I've got for the upcoming. Do you know of anything else? Any new releases, Andy, coming?
No, nothing new coming out that I've heard of. Just a lot of bands still putting their stuff, getting ready. It is now, like I said, we're doing our country stuff this month, but come March, soon after that, it's gonna be the bar gigs again, outside venues that are gonna be popping open at the bar.
Patios. I'm sure
April bar, see what they got playing up there. Yep.
April and May, and then this year also the Canterbury has the amphitheater. It's going to be going live here this summer. Outdoor seating arrangement, 19,000 for outdoor concerts near Canterbury Park. We'll be heavily pushing those guys this year as well, the acts.
Yes.
That's all I've got for this week. We'll see you next Thursday, and have a good week.
See ya.
See ya.